Hello, this is day 20 of Aglow 30, all right? 20 amazing days, phenomenal teachings on the subject of devotion, all right? And if you've been blessed so far, please do well to let me know by liking this video. And that's why you can send me a DM on any social media handle. But, this is day 20 of Aglow 30, all right? And today, I want to talk about something I believe is very important. I want to talk about disciplines and goals, all right, or systems, goals, and disciplines. One of the things we learn from the creation story is that God, in His providence, in His superior wisdom, created systems that could warrant or um, put in place systems that could afford the need for subsequent creations. And what do I mean by that? So you see that God didn't need to create all the trees in the world. He just created a few, and then they started to reproduce after their kind, all right? And so that's how we still have trees to today. Same thing with the animals. You see that God is a God of systems and not disorder, all right? And you see, one of the things we learn about building habits, especially when we read books on productivity and all that, one thing that is commonly said is that we don't rise to the levels of our goals, we fall to the levels of our systems. All right. And so maybe your goal for 2026, or whatever year you're listening to this is in, your goals is to have a stronger prayer life. That is a goal, but that is not sufficient for you to have a stronger prayer life. What can when necessitate you having a stronger prayer life is you putting in systems that would make sure your prayer life is constantly conducive and constantly on fire, and at the end of the day it will be strong and it will be successful, as it were. All right. And so my priority in this video is to make sure that you focus more on systems and structures over goals and discipline. It's good that you are disciplined, but more importantly, put in systems, put in structures for your devotion. It's good that you have goals, but most importantly, put in structures. And you see, it's so ironic that it seems like a lot of us seem to have a plan for everything except our prayer life or except our devotion life. It seems like we have a plan for academics, marriage, and all those things. And like I always commonly say, anything else you succeed at will bear witness against you that you could also have been good in your devotion. And one thing that comes to mind is a quote, and I forgot to share it, but it's a very profound quote. The person said that any system of prayerlessness is a rehearsal for atheism. Prayerlessness is a rehearsal for atheism. You are just one trial away, one temptation away, one breakup away from actually doubting the faithfulness of God. Because one of the things, like I said in the previous videos, is that devotion is a system for your preservation. And so if any priority must be given to anything in our life, it must be to our prayer life and to our word life. Having said all that, what are the structures? When would you pray? You see, the average person, um the only plan the average person has for their prayer life and for their devotion is I will pray. I will pray, I will pray, I will pray, I will pray. When I pray, I will soon pray. That's not a plan, that's not a structure. Your structure should be something like, when will you pray every day? What time? How long will you pray every day? Where would you pray every day? And as I'm saying this now, some of you need to start writing down, because 2026 will come to an end again, and you'll be begging Lord God for a prayer life at crossover night one more time, and you'll be setting another goal again in 2027. When would you pray? How long will you pray? Where will you pray? How many chapters of the Bible will you read? When would you go on retreats in the year? How frequently would you fast? What will your prayer life look like? All those things. Will you pray 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening? Set structures in place. And one of the things you can do is to habit stack, all right? Habit stack, such that immediately after I'm done doing this, I know that every day, as soon as I wake up, I set my alarm to 5 a.m. As soon as I wake up, I pray. Or as soon as I wake up, I do this and then I pray. And you can also have it stuck in the sense of the reverse mindset, where you say, I would not do this until I pray, all right, or until I read my Bible. For the longest time, I've practiced the Bible before breakfast making. I will not eat anything, nothing will enter my mouth until I have been fed with the word. Look at that. Nothing will enter my mouth until I have been fed with the word. That's a bit stacking, putting in structures in place to ensure. Because see, I promise you, you might not be as disciplined as you think, and then goals are not sufficient to power you. What can many times make you successful in your devotion is the systems and structures that I put in place. I was recently reading a book, and I found that one of the ways people attain mastery is just by enjoying the process over the product. While you are looking at, oh, I want to be a prayer machine, that's a beautiful goal, all right, and kudos to you. But enjoy the process more, the process, the everyday structure of prayer. Let it be fellowship for you. It might be duty now, it will later translate to delight. All right, for now, focus on the systems. Put in structure. Let your devotion life have structure. When will you pray? When? What time every day? Write it down. Set an alarm for that need. All right, let someone else that is your friend know about this. And this also is what helps us to deal with sins, addictions, and temptations. If you put in structures that make sure that whenever you visit a pornographic website, your friends will know. You have a higher odd of dealing with that addiction than the average person. Structures and systems are usually the answers to dealing with or building new habits. This is day 20 of Aglow. If this blessed you, do well to like this video, share with someone, subscribe to this channel. Let it be a blessing to someone. All right, like I said yesterday, you don't know whose devotion life might be struggling and might need to hear this. All right, share this with someone and let this be a blessing. God bless you as you do so. Have a lovely day.